Hey everyone, Pastor Nathan here. Glad to be with you again today as we're continuing to pray through the Psalms. We started Psalm 139 last time, verses 1 through 6. And the reason we're breaking this psalm up the way we are is because it's an incredible psalm. It's a powerful psalm. It's one of the best written psalms in the entirety of the book of Psalms. And that's saying something because there are a lot of really, really well-written songs and poems in the book of Psalms. Today we're in verses 7 through 12 as we use that as sort of a focus for prayer. I'm reading from the NIV text. Well, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light will become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. This second section, verses 7 through 12, just as a side note, as an English major, one of the things as I was looking at this going, I found out that Francis Thompson's poem, The Hound of Heaven, you might be familiar with it, maybe you're not, is actually based out of this section of Psalm 139. I know, English major thing, but had to point that out. Moving on, though, when we're talking about praying this psalm, we're looking at this as an odd confession of God's presence anywhere and everywhere. The psalmist uses literal extremes to talk about God's presence. When he talks about the heaven and the depths of the sea, saying as high as heaven and as low as the lowest portion of the sea, this deep portion of the world, as far as height or depth are from each other, God's going to find me there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, or if I settle on the far side of the sea. Well, what does he mean by that? Well, if you remember how Israel was situated, the dawn for Israel would have been on the eastern side of the country, and then the far side of the sea is on the western side of the country. So he's saying literally east and west. If I'm on the farthest eastern side of the world, or if I'm on the farthest western side of the world, God's still going to find me there. What if I shroud myself in darkness? Well, darkness becomes like light to God. He can see even in those places. See, the abyss of darkness, like fleeing to any of those places, the psalmist highlights the futility of trying to find a space where God cannot find us. But I also love that he has a promise in the midst of that too. He says, even if I go, to the east or to the west, north, or as high as the heavens or as low as the abyss of the sea, he says, even there, God's hand will guide me. God's right hand will hold me fast. There's that incredible promise of God's guidance there to protect us and watch over us. But like we asked with the first 6 verses, we have to ask, well, not have to, but a helpful question to ask is this comforting or frightening? On the one hand, you've got this incredible promise of God's where wherever we go, wherever we are, we will never be so far that he cannot find us. On the flip side, if we're ashamed of something, or if we want to escape from God, or if we are trying to get away from God for whatever reason, the other side of that is we can never get away from God. He's always going to find out what we've done, what we've thought. As we read in the first 6 verses last time, he knows us and he's with us now. So this is a good thing for the most part, but also a challenge. And so there's really kind of 3 ways we can pray this. The first is, thank you for your presence. That it is a guide and it is a comfort to me. The second thing is this: encourage me that where I go, there you are. This gives us kind of an incredible encouragement where we can just say, Lord, wherever I go, wherever life should take me, there you are. You're not at one specific place and not in this other specific place. But you're with me as I follow your son, Jesus. Wherever I go, there you are. The third thing then is, I've wandered. Find me and rescue me. This is this prayer of confession again, where we're saying, Lord, we have strayed off spiritual paths of right and good and wandered off and are starting to do spiritual off-roading, if you will. And in that sense, we are straying from you. We're praying to our God to go find us like he found the lost sheep and abandoned the 99 in order to go and get that one. So anyhow, those are some incredible ways that we can use this psalm to enter into conversation with our God and to pray to him. I hope that's been helpful for you. We'll take up verses 13 and following the next time we get together. Take care, and we'll talk soon.